Hello and welcome to Cutting Through the Ball in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben. As always, I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
And today we're going back to the movies. It's that time of rotation again, and we're going to talk about Terminator 2, which is
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day.
Frankly, one of the greatest cinematic achievements known to man.
Yeah, fully agree.
On many different levels, as we will discuss.
The first time I watched this, I was 13, I think. Maybe 12 even. It was first or second year at school.
Yeah.
And an art teacher from America.
Oh,
California.
This is what you get if you go to a posh school, right?
And it was Christmas, like the last or less before Christmas.
Yeah.
He said, what film do you want to watch? Pulled out a few and we all picked Terminator 2.
Oh, amazing. It's
fucking
a
blew my
movie,
mind.
I'll explain a bit later on, a movie that I'll get a bit confessional. Around the same time I would have seen it, Mike, and I have a very strong emotional connection to this film. I'll explain later on. And it's got cool fucking robots.
It has.
Harley Davidson.
Do you get a weepy at the end like me?
Oh, of course, emotional at the end. When this movie spoke to me in a very deep, profound way, even at age sort of 12, 13.
I enjoyed the shooty bits.
Well, we're going to get into that later. We're going to analyse every aspect of this wonderful movie.
I will no doubt at some point switch off mentally because of the amount of philosophy being thrown at me.
And we're going to attempt to open Ben's eyes, hopefully, to subtext and... reading, meaning, all that poncy sort of stuff.
He's got a minigun, Gaz!
We're gonna fuck with your mind.
But Ben, what does the minigun represent?
Death!
But it's very phallic in shape.
All guns are phallic in shape, that's the point. It makes you feel like you've got a massive dick when you're holding it. I also
joined in the army.
I also say that it's starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, Ed Furlong, Robert Patrick are the main stars. And Joe Morton, who I do like and stuff.
Joe Morton?
Yeah, he's Mars Dyson.
He has the greatest death scene, I think. One of the best on-screen deaths I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You never seen nobody die like that before in a film. They're always doing the whole... And like, you literally watched a man...
The Wilhelm scream.
You watched a man have his last breath on screen. I'd never seen that. That fucking hit me when I was little. But anyway, we are getting ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
If this is your first podcast, hello. If not,
Welcome
you
back.
know the drill. If not, welcome back, and you know the drill.
Let's do strange stuff we found on the internet this week news.
Yeah, that's how we break ourselves in, so to speak.
Metaphorically.
Hey! I'm going to talk to you about some metaphors later.
Oh my god. Oh god, I'm being tested.
For your sins.
You can't put philosophy in the reggae box. It's too big.
What about the jumpers that go with it? The black turtleneck jumpers and little berets. What about, can they go in the reggae box?
Did you notice that I wore my one and only posh coat today?
Yeah.
Because I was... Yeah. After an afternoon of researching postmodernism and modernism in philosophy, I felt like wearing my posh coat. But I'm drinking Stella Artois and smoking cheap fucking weed, so...
So he's pretty much like a philosopher then, really.
I'm not that fucking clever is my point, but... right, let's do some weird news!
People keep seeing the Moth-man in Chicago. Moth-man, star of the movie, the Moth-man Chronicles, and various sightings.
Moth-man Prophecies, was it?
Moth-man Prophecies, sorry, yeah.
Is that a different film? Completely.
I have no idea.
No, the Moth-man Prophecies. I think this should be an entire episode one day.
It probably will be.
It's a really
I'm seeing a bit of a creepy picture of like 100-foot tall Moth-man in there.
The original.
Can't miss him, can you?
No, you can't miss Moth. The picture they're showing in the article.
He looks like one of Godzilla's fucking enemies.
He looks like he should be fighting Godzilla later on.
But the original Moth-man conspiracy is, if you don't know, is a really interesting one involving a sort of devil-like moth flying man creature with red eyes terrorising a small town. But the conspiracy also involves government agents and people knocking doors and researching, and so
if they just shine a big bright light, it's just going to come straight to you.
If they got like 12 of them World War II searchlights, strapped them together into one big torch and shone it in the sky, give it an hour, he'd be stuck on that.
That's it.
But Mike, I think you just solved the problem.
I have cracked the case.
There we go. What we don't need to do this article now.
So has the Moth-man come back then?
Yeah, it was a normal summer night for John Amitrano, working a Friday shift as security for Chicago's popular Logan Square hangout, The Owl. I find this a little bit suspicious because
The Owl.
There are owls that have been used as owls that are confusing Moth-man in the sightings. But when he went outside, he saw something odd. I saw a plane flying. That's not odd. But also, there's also something moving really awkwardly under it, he told Vice. This is from Vice.com, by the way. It didn't look like a bat, so much as what the illustration of a pterodactyl looks like, with the slenderness of its head and its wing shape.
Maybe it was a fucking pterodactyl then, not the fucking Moth-man. Sorry.
If he was living in Jurassic World, I'd probably agree with you.
Well, I don't know what's a bigger news.
I was going to say
pterodactyls or the Moth-man.
Well, tell me which one's more fucking likely. The Moth-man or the fuck? They're both as fucking ridiculous as each other. So
I'd rather it was the Moth-man because the pterodactyls were meat eaters, weren't they? I don't fancy as people sort of being. I don't fancy like my dog being swept up by a pterodactyl as I'm trying to walk it.
It would be a shitter, wouldn't it? Having to live in a world with pterodactyls.
Oh God!
They would just snatch children off the street.
Yeah.
And things.
If you make it to like 8 or 9, you're a survivor.
I actually found that quite disturbing in the most recent Jurassic Park film, where those giant. I don't think they are pterodactyls, but they're big flying dinosaurs, and they just scoop up that woman and like they'd sort of rip her apart in the air and drop her several times. It's a fairly savage way to go.
Yeah.
It's
all rip and tear. It ain't no bitey.
I wouldn't like it.
Yeah, bunch of shit gibbons. Yeah. So.
Who? Dinosaurs?
Yeah. Pterodactyls.
They're in the reggae box.
No, I like dinosaurs. Every small child likes dinosaurs, and that usually stays with you.
Yeah. Did you collect that magazine that was out when we were children? I collected the whole thing every week. It was a dinosaur magazine. Every week you got a different piece of T-Rex.
I got as far as the skeleton.
Yeah, I never got the flesh.
Nah.
I got the
skeleton
skeleton.
Glowed in the dark.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got that far.
I think I've still got that somewhere.
Wait, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I love dinosaurs. But
it stood up on its own though, that was a problem.
Oh, it was a bit wobbly?
Yeah.
I can't really remember.
I used to have to lean it against the window.
So what's it... Sorry, tangent already.
Yeah.
But this guy did say the Moth-man looked like a... Hang on. Is that how you spell pterodactyl?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
With a silent P?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off. I hate silent letter. What's the point?
Anyway.
It is annoying, isn't it?
I know what birds and what bats look like. That's bad. This thing didn't have any feathers or fur, and it didn't fly like anything I've ever seen, he says. Chicago, what they sound like in Chicago? Al Capone.
Chicago, a little bit, yeah.
Emitrino added the
East
thing
Coast.
he saw, which, according to him, had muscular legs, a jutting tail bone, and a human-like shape, flew in a strange swooping motion, undulating up and down. After it flew away, he retrieved his phone from charging in the bar and texted his girlfriend and close friends what happened. I remember thinking, this is the worst time in the world to have my phone charging. He laughed.
A convenient tale.
Yeah.
I have noticed a number of inconsistency in this man's testimony. I'm putting my lawyer hat on now.
Oh.
Does it look like a fucking pterodactyl, or does it look like a man? Because you've described it as looking like both.
Yeah.
Yeah, but pterodactyls have feathers.
Mm.
And he said he didn't have any feathers.
So he doesn't know what a pterodactyl looks like, does he?
He doesn't know that.
Unless it was a bald pterodactyl.
The great American bald pterodactyl.
What if it had been flying in the jet stream of a passenger plane? I imagine that's quite burny. The jet stream.
Well, all them chemtrails coming off it.
Blown his feathers off.
That's pollution.
But this, I remember, I could be completely wrong. Correct me, listener. Remember, you are the fact checker. But I think in the original Moth-man prophecy, it flew pretty low down and like over people's heads and scared the shit out of people. It wasn't. I mean, how low was this plane? I mean, in a city, planes are pretty low because they're coming into land and take off, I guess. But.
Yeah. So anyway, if you do listen and you're in Chicago, and you've seen the Moth-man, then email us on the Facebook page.
Yeah, let us
And
know.
then we'll laugh at you.
Maybe.
No, we'll take that tale as sensibly as anybody else's who messages us.
Well, our next stage in our evolution as podcasters will be. I mean, there's 3 of us here. Surely we can figure out how to phone people and record it.
Yeah.
Or Skype people and record it. It's all possible. We've got the equipment. We just need to know how to do it. Or maybe we could start phoning these type of people.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how long we'll last before it divulges into us just ripping.
Or I tell someone they're a wanker. Is that what you're saying?
Well, someone's like, "What? I can't understand your accents." Like, fuck you! We invented it. Love you, America. Once again, our number 1 country for listenership is not our own, shunned by our own people, cast out by our own country, and embraced to the bosom of you fucking crazy Americans. So thanks.
Yeah. So if you go down, we're going down with you.
Should we have the next bit of news?
News.
And this is one I stumbled across, where we featured that woman who married a ghost, didn't we? Or had sex with multiple ghosts and wanted a ghost baby.
We did.
I found this, and it's in the Irish Central by Frances Mulroney. Irish woman legally marries a 300-year-old ghost, says the lovemaking is great.
For fuck's sake.
The ghost of a Haitian pirate proposed marriage to to County Louth woman after she told the spirit she was no longer content with casual sex. A 45-year-old woman from County Louth married the ghost of an 18th century Haitian pirate after the couple met when she felt his presence laying beside her in bed in 2014. Amanda Teague from Drogheda, I presume that's how you say it, Drogheda. Mike, any ideas?
I'm not looking, where is it? Drogheda, yeah, sounds about right.
It's in Ireland. I'm sure any
County
Irish
Louth.
listeners, I got County Louth right, it was just the town I was struggling with.
If you're not bothered, correct us and tell us.
Any Irish listeners, please let us know. Travelled to international waters to marry her pirate partner Jack through the means of a medium after telling the spirit that she was no longer happy to just have casual sex. Well, she's 45, I mean, no time for playing games.
That's it. Biological clock's ticking.
I think it's probably stopped ticking by that point, Mike. Well, certainly on the way. I don't know. Something to do with the moon, that's what we're going for. That's how it all works, isn't it?
What is there no lengths people will go to for attention? And I say this as a card-carrying, attention-seeking dickhead.
Hang on, let me just follow that. You'll love the next paragraph.
Oh.
The Louth woman, who works as a Pirates of the Caribbean Jack Sparrow impersonator, believes it was the pirate link that brought her own Haitian pirate to her. She even claims that the sex is better than with living men.
The fuck has she been smoking? Get off that pirate weed. Never is that a photograph. There are other people in the photograph. People indulged her on this.
Apparently so.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people I can see.
Who performed the ceremony?
Fuck.
Was it the medium?
If I told you something like this,
I presume the medium's that guy in the suit.
Yeah.
Because she's doing it through him. So does that mean that she's international waters? So it doesn't really. Does it count?
Is that why they had to go to international waters?
Yeah, I suppose it wouldn't be legal. I suppose in international waters.
I wonder if he jilted her at the
Yeah, you think the medium stood there and he's like, oh, he's not here yet. He's not here yet. And then he just pretends to do it.
What was the medium? I'd fuck with her saying, it's been half an hour now, love. I don't know if it's going to turn up.
If you
did
did
I
that,
promise I can't see him.
If you did that, I guarantee you she'd start like mimicking that she was being fucked from behind or something. Oh, he's here, I know it, he's here, he's fucking me now. No, not here, Jack. Whatever the fucking pirate's name is.
Jack.
She couldn't
Does she only know one pirate name?
Not very Haitian name, is it Jack?
No.
You know, Francois or Pierre maybe, but not Jack.
Yeah.
Jacques maybe.
3-legged Pierre. And I mean 1-legged Pierre. Oh, this is completely unrelated to that, but I've got an interesting animal penis fact for you.
Oh, okay.
That I heard on another podcast. Sorry, I can't remember which one.
Animalpenisfact.com.
Yeah. Gaz's animal penis fact of the week. An elephant can use its penis as literally a third leg to steady itself whilst going back onto two legs to reach up and do stuff.
Do you know how creepy...
That's just fucking gratuitous.
Do you know how creepy that is? Because I watched the film The Brothers Grimsby the other day, yesterday, and there is an elephant sex scene.
Yeah, I've seen that movie. Yeah.
That's the Matrix for you.
So yeah, this woman's fucking nuts, and I'm more disgusted with the... I'm doing air quotes, dear listener. Fucking bridesmaids stood on this boat with her. They've indulged this woman. They're indulging this fucking medium as well. That's another one of my... A fucking medium. You chat shit.
Not a fan of psychics then, Gaz?
I mean, do I... I don't know. Maybe people do, because people do... A lot of the things we talk about on this show come from the minds of people who have channeled it from somewhere. But this tosser, I imagine I'm pointing to the guy who we think was doing the ceremony.
Yeah.
I am assuming that he...
Got paid?
Yeah, there was financial gain in this for him. That dude there, I guess, is one of the ship's crew or something like that. He's not dressed for a wedding, is he?
Actually, the marriage would probably be done by the ship's captain in international waters. Is that true?
No idea.
I want to know who paid for the wedding. Was it the groom's father?
Imagine your daughter comes up to you and
doubloons.
says, Dad, I'm getting married. Oh, great, who to? Oh, this 300-year-old pirate and ghost that needs some money for the ceremony. Tell her to fuck off, wouldn't you?
I've traced your lineage. He's your great-great-great-great-great-great-uncle.
And hang on, this
And he says you're going to pay for the wedding.
in gold. Now,
Gold bullion.
I've just had a thought.
Gold doubloon.
Is
Yes.
this pirate on a booty?
This wifey lady, I've just had a thought. She claims that the sex with this ghost is fantastic.
Well, he is Haitian.
I think I need to explain to her that if you're on your own and sex is happening, it's not a ghost, it's having a wank. It's masturbation. There's no way she is lying there and being stimulated by air or spirits or ghosts, because I don't believe in them. She's having a fucking wank.
Or a wet dream,
And
or whatever the equivalent are.
Well, yeah, and she won't
She's
admit
in love, Gaz.
with herself.
She's been having... I told him I
We're
wasn't
not
really
thinking
cool
about
having
you.
casual sex with a spirit, and I wanted us to make a proper commitment to each other, she told the Irish Sun.
She's probably just got some Catholic guilt about the amount of wanking she does. The fact that she can't leave her bean alone. Right? And she's got to create some fucking ridiculous narrative to try and justify it. Like, no, I can't just keep casually fucking my ghost. You know, we're going to get married in international waters. Yes, you've got to buy a dress.
Maybe they just know that she's mentally ill and they're just going along with it.
I would have been tempted to push her overboard. to be
Maybe they
honest.
did. Let's scroll down the end of the article.
I'm just good I'm losing out to ghosts. Dead people are more attractive to women than I am. It kind of sucks.
And they're better at sex than you.
Oh shit.
I want all of us to be fair, but you know, I'm just... Well... Marriage,
me, I'm yours.
marriage to a ghost is legal in some countries, such as France and China. So the couple travelled to international waters to ensure the legality of their marriage would be upheld when they returned to Ireland. Jack was represented by a skull and crossbones flag, while his specially designed wedding ring was placed on a candle as he could not physically present a hand onto which it could be placed.
Because he doesn't fucking exist! Jesus, this makes me angry.
He also gave his vows with the help of a medium, while a shaman priest presided over the marriage.
How many poor saps did she rope in? She's fairly attractive.
Yeah, she's not an unattractive woman.
She could get an actual human male partner or female, whatever she wanted.
But the sex is better with Jack, the Haitian pirate.
Do you know how many Haitian pirates are strutting around fucking County Leith, mate?
She wouldn't be the first woman who gets herself off better than any man can get her off. She just, to be sure, I can't stop wanking.
She now wishes to spread more information about the possibilities of a relationship with a ghost, and she and Jack are co-writing a book named Ain't No Grave Could Hold My Body Back, to advise singletons on how they too can bag themselves a ghost partner. So Mike, you might want to read that when it comes out. You can get a ghost girlfriend. The sex would be better.
Something interesting. Do you know when the last Shakespeare novel was written or play?
Do tell.
Before he died.
After he died. It was
on,
channeled by somebody.
Off.
And in the British Library, if someone channels, they say they channel William Shakespeare, write the play, it has to be chronicled under his name in the British Library.
Alright, so I can go in the British Library and write a Shakespeare play with tits, guns and explosions.
You could.
And it'll be classed as by
As long as
William
you say it's been channeled by William
Most
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare plays have got tits, guns and explosions.
Well,
Well, maybe not guns, but violence.
Yeah, well lots of violence, possibly a cyborg.
Like
maybe some aliens.
As long as you say I've channeled William Shakespeare,
Yeah.
he's kind of changed his style a bit. He's got a bit more avant-garde sort of.
Is he watching like modern cinema and decided he wants to have a stab at it?
He's got a bit more populist.
Well, don't you get a film deal out of that?
That upsets me, Mike, almost as much as this article upsets me. I know it shouldn't bother me. I know she's just she just wants her attention, she's happy.
She's a pirate impersonator as well. Maybe she can only love another pirate.
God.
But there's living pirates.
Don't you just
I very much doubt she's going to go to Somalia.
Might be Haitian pilots off the Irish coast.
I'm being incredibly judgmental, but I think I know this woman's personality inside out. Think of the sort of person who spends their life as a quote-unquote impersonator. It's akin to someone who's in the circus.
They're a performer.
Yeah. They starved of attention as a child, quite like myself, which then leads them on into a life of seeking attention in any way, shape or form.
She's got a new book deal. She's got a new book deal for starting.
I dream of being a published writer. I don't do anything to achieve that dream, but I dream of it.
Well, maybe you need to shack up with a ghost.
Fucking twat. God, I'm sorry to the listener who I sound aggressive about this woman and her ghost husband, but they really have.
Should we move on?
Yes, please. Yeah. I'm done.
One more.
Okay.
She better not be a ghost.
Grandfather's testicle explodes after oh, man. Rare form of salmonella on Tunisian holiday.
A grandfather whose testicle expanded to the size of a grapefruit, after contracting a rare form of salmonella, has told how his life has changed forever. He's now known as Billy One Big Bollock. He has to buy a bigger size in trousers. He can't wear shorts anymore. There you go, that's how his life's changed.
Yeah, bit of a shit at that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Salmonella can make your testicles explode.
Apparently. It exploded like a volcano.
Oh no.
After a turn.
Can you imagine just sitting down to dinner? It's all quiet. Just hear this.
Your balls already swollen up though.
Yeah, it just sort of pops out your shorts and explodes all over your partner's food.
Face. Everything.
Exploded like a volcano.
Bollocks just exploded.
I think you wouldn't be that calm. I think you'd be screaming.
Exploded like a volcano.
He then had to have an operation to remove it. So what was left?
Well, nothing, I imagine. He got it removed.
Yeah, well that's it, but what was left he had removed,
yeah. The doctor told me he'd never seen anything like it in her 20-year career.
You're fucking telling me.
Despite this, I was sent home again. I got in the bath and it exploded. It literally went bang. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It was leaking so much I had to get one of my grandchildren's nappies and put it round to stop the flow.
Oh, fucking hell. Well, I ain't sleeping tonight.
Did you see the bit just slightly ahead that said it got to the size of a grapefruit and he had to carry it around in his hands?
At that point?
Oh yeah, grapefruit are fucking the size of one of them little footballs, aren't they?
Pretty big.
Yeah.
Well,
that's an English football, by the way.
We'll move on from that one.
Thanks for your news stories this week. So far, you've angered my mind and now made my stomach feel weird.
That'll be the salmonella gas.
Well, it is the weird news. No, don't joke. I thought salmonella was just food poisoning. I didn't know your balls could explode as well. It's not fun.
It's a rare form of African salmonella, if that helps. Are you planning on going to Tunisia at any point?
Fuck no.
Not anymore.
No, it wasn't. No.
Just don't eat the chicken.
Or the eggs.
Or the eggs.
Just think of your balls when you're trying to decide whether that chicken's worth it or not. Oh man.
Right, shall we go on to the film then?
So is he okay though? Let's just. Oh, he's lost because I can see the quote from the guy. In my opinion, it's a big part of being a man that has gone. Has he just lost one
I
ball?
don't know if he's lost them both.
He lost both balls.
Oh man.
That's a shitter.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
Oh well.
Well, you know what Donald Trump would say?
That's what you get for going to shithole countries.
His words, not mine.
Or paraphrasing his words.
Don't judge me.
Did you see the Norwegians' response to Mr. Trump's?
Norwegian ways. Norway.
The Norwegians were tweeting him back saying, because he said he wanted more immigrants to somewhere like Norway.
Okay.
In other words, white, blonde people.
Yeah.
And they all tweeted him saying, why would you want to come to your shithole country where there's no free healthcare and no free university education, your gun crime's rampant.
Fantastic. And you're fucking president.
And you're president. Yeah. So. No offence to our American listeners, I'm just telling you what the Norwegians said.
Good comeback.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
got a bit more news, or do you want to go to the film?
nah, give us another one.
Yeah, one more and then I'll go and refresh my beverages for the film.
I got one brief news story as well for you gentlemen, which I think you will enjoy.
Traffic to porn sites soared by 50% in Hawaii minutes after missile threat was believed to be a false alarm.
Oh, you know what? Completely understand. In fact,
is-
would you? Here's a question. You're at home. You're alone. That message comes through to your phone. Missiles incoming. I don't know if they've got bomb shelters or shelters or something. I've no idea. You can't make it there. I'm cracking one off at home
Yeah. But
during the fucking missile alarm.
This was minutes after it was revealed to be a false alarm. So
Yeah.
you got the alarm, you got the 38 minutes of panic,
Yeah.
and then you got
And
the
the
second
relief.
message, and then minutes later, porn just from Hawaii is 50% increase.
Yeah, but I've been
Everyone
cracking
just
one off during the 38
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
We have joked on several episodes in several fantasy hypothetical scenarios, joked many times about how we would just be cracking one off in the face of certain death.
Yeah.
And I know, like you say, they didn't do it in the face of it, but I just love that idea of when the alert comes through on your phone, it was a false alarm, you double confirm it. What should I do? They're in Hawaii, bear in mind. Shall I go out and breathe the fresh sea air? Shall I feel the beautiful white sands beneath my fuck that ex-hamster! Oh, I'm alive!
And then you go out and do all that.
Yeah, I can still come whenever I want. Woo!
If I'm going out, I'm going with my balls empty.
Never leave the house with a loaded weapon. Oh man, yeah, poor bastards. I gotta say, yeah, good on them. Of course, it soared by 50%.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything more gleeful
No?
than.
You got to celebrate that kind of shit, haven't you? Let's face it.
But it's not just a normal wank. It's like probably the most glorious wank you're ever gonna have in your life. Just
Yeah.
like. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe there was something about, maybe it wasn't so much about the wanking, maybe it was more actually the viewing of the porn. They were just like, after the very real, to them, it was very real that their death was imminent. Maybe it's just nice to look at some tits after that, do you know what I mean? Just, nice,
Well, you got that
soothing.
release of...
Come.
What do you
I imagine the endorphin rush would just
That's
make
it,
you horny.
endorphins.
Yeah, it's very true.
Because you've got, it's like,
Adrenaline
you've cheated
pumping through your
death,
body.
and you've got to then it's like that urge to procreate then because you've cheated death. It's like it'd be an animal instinct in the brain. I've got to do something. I've got to either fuck or come or something.
Adrenaline's amazing. I had a really brief example a couple of weeks ago in the ice. I was on a country lane in the van. I just completely lost control on a corner and didn't panic at all. And it's probably only a few seconds I was out of control, but everything slows down and I remember to steer into the way you're skidding because it's natural to go against it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Turn into it and you come out of it and everything felt really calm and I felt control of the van come back and I was like, wow, that went pretty smoothly. But then seconds after that, the like come down of the adrenaline, my heart is fucking pounding, I'm shaking all over and I need to actually pull over and get me fucking
It's
calm
like
down a bit. And
It's like goal scorers. It's like they say that when they score a goal in a big game, like proper professional footballers, it's like for a few minutes it's like an out of body experience.
yeah, I've heard Michael Jordan talk about that. It's like watching yourself play in the zone, they call
Yeah,
it.
and he says that, like, you score a goal, you have like an out of body experience. And
I'd
then,
explain why they whip their shirts off even though they're getting booked.
yeah, and then the come down is just massive from that.
It takes. I think it was Bruce Dickinson or something like that. Like, no, it was some wrestler. I was listening. Like, they're still buzzing for hours afterwards in the hotel room trying to fucking calm down. That's why there's so much drinking and
painkillers. I imagine.
yeah. Well, back in the day, they're a lot healthier these days, to be fair. So there might have been an endorphin, adrenaline, come down, something. Just people were not going to be feeling too great, and I think that's a fantastic news story. To be honest, a bit of happiness.
Yeah, it's a feel-good article.
Yeah, it's
one of the rare feel-good articles we have.
I got a feel-good story for you. Do we need to read into that? Is there any more to it other than?
No, I think
the headline kind of sums it. Well, I got one for you. Long lost tapes reveal details of a plan hatched by the quote Jewish Avengers to kill 6 million Germans by poisoning the country's water supply in revenge for the Holocaust.
You see, when you said Jewish Avengers, then all of a sudden I felt like there's a Jewish Avengers team, like Captain Israel, stuff like that.
Well, long lost tapes reveal details of a foiled plan by 6 Jewish Avengers to kill. Oh, blah blah blah. Filmmaker Avi Mercado found 10 tapes buried in a museum in Israel, which detailed how a band of Jewish partisans formed after the Second World War. The recordings, which have never been heard in public, form the heart of a new documentary entitled Holocaust, The Revenge Plot, due to air on January 28.
Aren't they already taking their revenge out on the Palestinians?
Well, they weren't the ones guarding the concentration camps.
No, but I was trying to make a political statement.
It was a bit flawed.
The tapes.
Well, no, the Jews performing their own Holocaust on the Palestinians.
Back to the Jewish
Not as
Avengers.
organised.
The tapes describe how the Avengers, led by Kovner and Pasha Reichman, funded their activities with £5 notes forged by Jews in concentration camps
I heard about
and
all
exchanged on the black market. They claim that the late Israeli presidents, Chaim Weizmann and Ephraim Katzir, sorry for the pronunciation, were instrumental in helping the Avengers acquire the poison they needed for their audacious plot. Their plans to poison the water were foiled when Kovner was arrested at sea. But I just think it's really fucking cool that someone was plotting revenge. Obviously, killing 6 million innocent Germans with poison isn't good, but I like the idea, a bit like the movie Inglourious Bastards. Just like the idea of people trying to get one back on the surviving.
I know, but they were all punished, weren't they, in the Nuremberg trials?
How do you guarantee you're going to kill 6 million Germans, though? Is it 6 million give or take?
Well, fuck knows.
Why do you find the water supply that goes to 6 million people, Ben?
I've not.
Yeah, but that water goes everywhere, doesn't it? I mean, it's not.
Oh man, do you know what? There's nothing original.
Well, we get ours from a certain reservoir, don't we?
Yeah, but I mean, so you just bung it all in that and just.
Hope for the best, I guess.
Well, I don't think they were trying to get the exact 6 million.
Well, I think they should have been.
I think 6 million minimum was what they were.
Yeah, well.
Well, I think the idea was just to commit another Holocaust, but without the physical apparatus that the Nazis used.
The huge logistical base that they'd have if they'd have put actually into war effort, they might have done a bit better.
So like I said, I don't like the idea of killing 6 million German civilians, but I do love the idea of teams getting together, and I don't know why there isn't more movies about that made up, like Nazi hunter type. I know that there are Nazi hunters that find them and bring them to justice, but that's not what I want. The kind of justice I want is movie justice with punches and
doesn't
kicks
work
and
in the
stabs.
real world, though, does it?
Yeah, but
The Odessa File's not a bad film.
You want to do what Mandela
The
did?
Odessa File.
not seen that.
Oh, it's an old one. It's just, the book's probably a bit better. But yeah, that's about like this guy trying to get revenge on this Nazi war criminal, but he's a German.
Right, I like that.
No, I think
So
you
he's
want
not a
to
German. He basically finds this Jewish guy's book
Yeah.
who tells all about this vicious guy, captain at the camp. And he recounts this tale of how this captain shot another officer and got on the boat in his place, and he reads it and he's like, oh shit. And I won't give away the film, but he basically decides it's a matter of vengeance, and he wants to track him down and kill him.
Right, well,
Yeah.
I think, are we done for the news? Should we hit the main meat of the week?
I'll just pause this, then I'll go and refresh the drinks, and if you need a snash or anything. Okay, so we're back, and we're going to start the movie literally now.
So,
Volume a bit lower, or...
yeah, I'd turn it right down so it's picking up on the mics. We know this film well enough to not need the actual...
Oh, God, yeah.
And to anyone listening, I just say off the top, I can't believe there can't be anyone listening who hasn't seen this movie. And if you love this movie, so we're literally seeing... Oh, this is the newest 3D version that
Wow.
that we're watching perfectly legally. So
Yes, of course we are, Gaz.
what logo is this? So this is the Canon logo, isn't it? Canon Films. So if you are watching along, Carol Cole, we're seeing that logo right now. So if you are listening along at home and you want to hear our commentary track, press play right now.
Do it! Do it now!
Do it now! So we touched on it very briefly at the start. Should we go into a bit more detail? Our first experiences of this film. Do you remember your first viewing, Ben?
Yeah, I'd say about the same age as you guys, 13, 14, watched it, thought it was epic. Actually think I saw this before the first one.
And me.
And I was like, shit, I've got to go and watch the first one.
It's the first one its own right, it's fucking awesome.
But things were at the very start of this now.
It's a horror film.
This bit captured my imagination. The bit where you go to the post world where the wars happen and the skeletons sat in the cars. It's 2029 AD, and it's like they've never done a film of this.
Yeah, they did Terminator Salvation.
That was shit
at the
though.
time, and
This is what I want to see. Laser guns.
Pretty visceral. But just touching on the first one, 'cause I'd never thought this till my research today. That apparently, the first Terminator movie retold the New Testament's Annunciation story.
Which
I don't know what it is, but I've got it here. A rebel from the 21st century, Archangel Gabriel, comes back in time to warn a Los Angeles waitress, Sarah, who's the Virgin Mary, apparently, that she's going to be the mother of a political messiah who will bring salvation to the world.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So,
Literally.
Yeah.
yeah, so, and this is sort of the continuation, and the Messiah has been born. But these are the years of Jesus you never hear about, though, don't you, when he's little? Doesn't he get born and then...
Yeah, up till 33.
Yeah.
No, that's when he died.
Oh, 32, 30, 31, 30, whatever, 30.
Yeah.
But this is cool. Like you've got the big hunter-killer things on tracks, and you've got the human soldiers running forward. They're using French assault rifles for this film, by the way, modified ones for the film.
And this...
Obviously, French assault rifles don't fire lasers.
I mean, the hunter-killers, all of this, look how practical and beautiful this looks, right?
Yeah.
This was 1991, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It was released. Now, back then, this is how you made action films.
Oh, God,
this was hugely budgeted. So look, these are puppets. These are Stan Winston puppets, man. Life size. Well, I'm not sure if they were life size, but this is all practical, real things, is what I'm saying. There's no CGI.
They were actually fully workable animatronic models.
Oh wow!
Those Terminators you can see on the screen.
So, my point is, we mentioned this in our Matrix movie special, but it's true. It smacks you in the face rewatching this movie. As good as modern CGI is, it is so intrinsic to the filmmaking, the kind of movies we watch, the Marvel movies, those kind of movies. And you have to be honest, it's not all good.
No, it isn't.
Obvious, a lot of it, but it's just the way they make films now.
Yeah.
The CGI was new and fresh back then, and you'll see some examples of it being amazing for its time, but
it still holds up though.
They are throwing real cars into real things. These are real pyrotechnics. And then look at the skill involved in that.
Yeah.
Just alone being a pyrotechnics expert who can safely do all this, and this is fucking filmmaking, man.
Would you like to know a little bit about the budget, as you mentioned it earlier?
Okay, go for it.
The Carol Co. studio executives are nervous and concerned when the original budget of $75 million ballooned up to $88 million. Now, for me, 88 in 1991, but $88 million nowadays is virtually fucking nothing. I mean, Netflix just put $90 million on Brian.
Did you know that your average Hollywood mainstream romantic comedy costs about $80 million?
Yes, makes sense.
Most of it goes on location, paying for locations, actors' salary, and then the marketing budget is millions and millions of pounds.
Of course, yeah.
But that's just a rom-com.
I mean, Deadpool was quite clever. The fact it did a lot of very clever advertising, didn't it? They didn't spend a lot of money. They were just very clever with it.
Proving a point, viral marketing works. Deadpool had its audience.
Already.
People were going to find out, but he was so clever. Apparently Ryan Reynolds had a lot to do with that.
Yes, he was
tapping in.
Yeah.
Like using the poop emoji and stuff on that billboard. I mean, who's going to know? You alienated a massive chunk, but... So...
Yeah, apparently they tried to remove some scenes. And they wanted one of the few scenes, particularly the opening biker scene bar, which will be coming up shortly, they tried to get Arnold Schwarzenegger to persuade James Cameron to remove that scene, and Schwarzenegger said, "Only a studio guy would want to cut a scene out like that," which is a very bad Arnie impression, but the point stands.
Why did they want to cut it out?
Just trying to get the costume.
Oh.
And for me, that's a great scene.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Let's skip ahead a little bit.
I didn't research this, but I'm guessing now. The original Terminator was a success. I know that, but I don't think it was a giant like. What had James Cameron done to prove that? Like, oh yeah, trust me, this. I'm gonna get your 90 million back.
He'd done Aliens. He was Aliens.
Aliens was 1986.
Yeah, so he'd done
Terminator was 1984.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah.
Well, the original. So he'd done the original and the. Because this is nearly 10 years. It's a good few years after the original.
Yeah.
Terminator.
7 years, yeah.
I just think it's impressive that he managed to get someone to, or maybe it was Arnie that was selling. Because by this point, Arnold was the biggest draw in Hollywood. In '91, he's absolutely at the peak of his powers.
Yeah, but for the first Terminator, he was unknown.
Yeah, that was his break.
Well, that launched him, didn't it? It was, yeah.
And I mean, what a casting.
Yeah, perfect.
I mean, you can't think of anyone better, can you?
Do you know somebody else who was up for the role?
Oh, go on, who?
O.J. Simpson.
Oh.
No way.
O.J. Simpson was in the running.
No, wouldn't have worked.
No. Apparently Arnold was auditioning originally. He wanted the part of Kyle Reese. But when he met with Cameron, James Cameron was just completely taken with him. Just like, you're so just, perfect human looking, like, a Nazi wet dream, basically. You have to be the machine.
Yeah.
So, here we are in the bar scene.
Yeah, they got a bunch of bikers. Arnie walks in naked.
Absolutely iconic.
Do you think that this model of Terminator just seems to have a thing for bikers, dressing in that gear? Because it is kind of a little quirk that's in both. Because it's not the same robot from the first film. It's the same model, but it's not the same robot. They all look the same, obviously.
Yeah.
So do you think this is something like a quirk they put in when they send this Terminator back? I mean, that's always puzzled me.
But they haven't got them sort of feelings, have they? He's got a chip inhibitor inside him.
Yeah, but you think there's got to be something. There's got to be a reason why he goes to why he's dressed as a biker in both films.
Because it looks fucking cool.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but. Even in the third one as well, biker.
Well, no, look, in the third one, they play with this concept, don't they?
Do.
Because he ends up with a fucking stripper's sunglasses on, doesn't he?
That's right, and it's a bit of a mimic because a woman in the film asks if it's stripper night when he walks in naked, and of course, in the third one, he walks in on a stripper night.
There you go. Well, this scene, you forgot to say, please, puts the cigar on his chest.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid absolutely loving this.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be indestructible. Honestly, I wanted to, had my ass whipped a few times and was like, God, I just used to fantasize for hours about being just indestructible, basically.
Is this why you want to be a Transformer now?
Yeah, I used to honestly fantasize about being a Terminator, but somehow with my brain still.
Well, he's
a bit like Robocop.
He's kicking all of ass.
He's just pinned a man to a pool table with a knife.
No, don't pull it out. He's saying pull it out. Never pull out a knife, listeners. Never pull out a knife.
Oh, really? I don't know this.
Yeah, but he's twisted his arm, so it's been bent in an unnatural position. So he pull it out, he can actually get his arm back.
Yeah, but you're also causing more bleeding.
He's in a lot of pain, isn't he?
And he wants this gentleman's clothes and bike.
Now at this point, if you'd been watching this movie for the first time and you'd seen the first one, bad to the bone. Sorry.
Go for it.
You would now be expecting Arnold to be the bad guy.
You would,
wouldn't you? As the T-800 was in the first movie, and that's one of the themes of this movie, is sort of redemption and learning humanity, and can't let you take the man's wheels, son.
By the way, that is a Remington model 1877 that the...
oh, did you... What, the shotgun? Or
the shotgun is a... 1887, yeah. Did I say 1887? Yes, it is a sawn-off Winchester 1887.
Oh, awesome. Now, somebody might correct me, but I think the the motorbike is a 1986 Harley Davidson Fat Boy.
It is a Fat Boy, you're right, yeah.
I think. I do like this character. He's only in it very briefly. The bartender. He doesn't get killed by the Terminator, and that's where he gets his shades from. But I like the fact that he came out and tried to stop him taking the guy's bike.
Yeah.
You know, fair enough. They deserve that ass kicking because they started on you, weird naked man.
Weird naked man who strolls into a bar and asks for your clothes, bike, and everything you own that's on you. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't let you take the man's wheels, son. And what an iconic scene of him walking up to him and just taking the shades out. Fuck, I could just have a moment to all bask in the glory of Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime in 1991, fully black leather with a pair of shades, riding that bike. It's just fucking iconic. It's that's an image that's, you know how like when we were growing up, sort of our fathers would have loved like Clint Eastwood and stuff like that, and like Clint Eastwood, even though we might not have necessarily been into it.
Oh, my dad was a massive fan.
But Clint Eastwood in the poncho was still an iconic.
Yeah.
You knew that was an iconic image that had survived through the past. This will be this Arnie on that bike as the Terminator will be. You know.
There you go. Arnie dies. Right. Mm-hmm. They show the clip reel of his career. That's number one. On the bike, flipping that shotgun.
Yeah. This is the film. This, you know, I am an Arnold Schwarzenegger fanatic, I would say, to be honest. But this is head and shoulders. This stands above everything, and we'll talk a bit later on why it does. It's because this isn't just a good action film. This is a fucking good film. This
This is the first time we're introduced to the T-1000.
Oh yes.
Yeah, on screen now, which is forgotten his name. Robert Patrick. Who did some unusual things with his head in this film to make himself look a bit weird. He mimicked the head movements of an American bald eagle, which is why he's a bit kind of jerky and almost. Also, because he does a lot of running in this film, doesn't he?
He does, and he's got a very specific run, which I can do. Yeah. I'm not going to do it now because it's an audio show, but I can do a pretty good impression of the T-1000's run.
I love that bit later when he's running after the car, like. Yeah. And I love the Simpsons episode.
He's got the golf clubs in his hands.
Amazing.
And he's chasing.
That's the daddy's game.
And he morphs through the hedge. No, he doesn't. He comes through the hedge and he just morphs back. Homer. I love it. But he adopted a rigorous running regime. You know, we had to appear to run at high speed without showing fatigue.
Mm-hmm. Now, can we just say so? Because on screen at the moment we've got our introduction to John Connor and his friend, whose name I forgot, the ginger mulleted kid.
Yeah, that also shows the age.
What a mullet that is!
What a mullet! And Guns N' Roses in the background.
Yeah.
Now then,
best song.
At the time, though,
best songs for me.
Yeah. One of the reasons why this film had such a fucking emotional impact on me as a child, not just a whoa, that's cool. There were so many explosions.
What are you trying to say?
The fact, no. And this, you must agree with this because you were the same age as me. The fucking main protagonist is our age, or the age we were at the time. How many adult action films had you seen with a 12-year-old boy as the one of the main leads?
Well, yeah, and he did a very good job.
He's not annoying. As child actors go, he does a pretty fucking sterling job in this film.
He's not as bad.
He's a little bit whiny, but that's just the nature of his age and his voice.
He's not as well. You say that in the voice. Do you want to know a little trivia there?
Okay.
Production took quite a long time on this film.
Oh no, his voice didn't break halfway through.
He visibly aged during the shoot, and his voice began to break. It had to be pitched in post-production. He's clearly much younger in the desert scenes later on in the film.
Okay, well look out for that. I've never noticed that.
Yeah.
Dr. Silverman is on screen.
Back.
I like this actor.
I like the fact he turns up in 1 to 3.
Yeah, he's just something to keep it. Now, Sarah. Now then.
Linda Hamilton.
This is as good as time as any to discuss the fact that we're introduced to this character. The last time we saw her, she was a pretty little waitress.
She was a victim.
She was the damsel in distress who was saved by the brave man from the future, and she did a lot of
R.I.P.D. Carries.
Yeah, but she did press the button that crushed the Terminator in the press.
Yeah, that was her moment of what do you call it in the story arc?
Heroes.
Deus Ex Machina.
Right.
Yeah.
But now then, we're introduced to a 1991 sort of 6-7 years later,
in a mental asylum.
and she is absolutely transformed.
Mean as fuck. Man.
Yeah.
Now
She had a massive, rigorous
But then again, you have
training campaign for
You have to
this.
think about what she was told.
Oh
You know,
yeah, she's been
basically,
dealing with this.
You're going to be giving birth to the new Christ, and you're going to have to watch half the human race die.
Yeah, and the
Bit of
pressure of
bitch.
that.
Yeah.
If we've got to read in, is it's hinted at in the dialogue of the film. But so Sarah's life in between these two movies has been dating army men just to learn skills from them, not
Yeah.
because they're good for her. She's been completely single-minded, focused on gaining the skills that John is going to need, protecting
Yeah.
John, and that might not have put John. So John hasn't really been cared for. He's now in foster care in the film.
Yeah.
She's been locked up because of her beliefs, and she is dealing with the weight of. And I heard a lovely quote: Sarah Connor is the mother of the human race.
Yeah.
She is dealing with
Yeah.
that pressure of knowing the fate of the entire world is in my
Literally,
hands.
yeah.
And this just dropped out of my lap from nowhere. Future man got me up the duff. You know, and she has transformed, and I liked a good description of it I read somewhere was that she's transformed not into your typical, you know, like when a female gets an action scene in a lot of movies, you know, it slows down and you see all the men like, whoa, like, you know, you're
Yeah,
impressive,
yeah.
wow, well done. There's not, she's a soldier.
Yeah.
Sarah
absolutely.
Connor has spent the last 7 years in movie time, in between films, turning herself into a soldier. Not a female heroine, quote unquote, just a fucking soldier.
A bodyguard almost.
Yeah, and it's and the physical transformation the actual actress
I can
has
tell you about that if
taken
you
on.
like.
Okay, yeah.
I've got the. She trained with a former Israeli commando and a personal trainer for 3 hours a day, 6 days a week, for 13 weeks before filming.
Wow.
She trained intensely with weights, learned judo and heavy military training techniques. She had to maintain a demanding non-fat diet even during filming and lost 12 pounds. Because of this, she declined to reprise her role for Terminator 3. Ironically, her identical twin, who played her in some parts, stood in for her in some parts, her name is Leslie Hamilton Gearan, was only required to hit the gym for a few hours a week.
Oh,
I
God.
bet that caused a bit of tension.
But the scene we just watched in the mental asylum where she's forcibly medicated.
Yeah.
Basically, they had to reshoot that 4 times because the guard refused to hit her properly,
All right. Okay.
and she was getting quite annoyed. Now later on in the film, Sarah Connor gets her revenge on that guard, and all the blows are real.
Awesome.
We're at the
Well-
bit now in the film where John Connor is hacking a ATM machine.
Yeah, I was impressed with this as a child.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, you can do that?
This guy was my hero.
You mean my Commodore, my Amstrad CPU 464
Honestly,
could do that if I could take it in the streets?
I kind of hero worship this character as a child. Like,
Well, of course, man.
he was stealing money,
kid-
riding motorbikes,
This
listening
is
to
the
Guns N' Roses.
And which kid doesn't want a fucking Terminator as a film?
Oh, cool, my own Terminator. Yeah, I mean, I'll speak about that a bit later. Like that having your own Terminator thing. Oh man, this movie. This was a real crutch of mine growing up. This film, a real comfort blanket.
Apologies, everyone. You can hear the cat.
It's
You can hear
alright.
Chester.
We might as well introduce Chester as a formal member of the team.
Yeah, one of the
Yeah.
boys from the apocalypse.
Yeah. Alright,
He's our mascot and probably emergency food ration.
He's going to hunt for us.
yeah.
He's not going to give us anything. He's a cat.
Yeah, they don't eat the stuff they kill. They just drop it off for you. Although when
Get
he's got
rabbits
no,
and stoats.
He's not going to get a rabbit.
although when there's no kitty cat left in the world, he might sit there in the corner looking at us, going, "Fuck you," just jamming down his mouse. I'll eat everything, including its
You couldn't
feet.
even hear him. And he'll probably eat our corpses when we're dead.
Yeah. Is it? Oh no, it's dogs that don't like Terminators, isn't it?
Dogs, they can
Yeah.
tell the difference.
Yeah. Well, they
Well,
would.
The cats would sell you out.
Cats
Imagine
are
that-
indifferent at best.
Yeah.
The cats are just side of the machines.
Can you imagine what's going through the dog's mind though? He can smell your living flesh, and then the machine beneath it, like, what the That's
Yeah.
your dog would be freaking the fuck out, to be perfectly honest. I don't blame him.
Actually, I was watching. No, it's a little bit off loop. It's actually a couple of episodes. We talked about World War Z on the zombie episode, and they use dogs in that. The scene comes back to tell the difference between infected or not.
Okay.
Movies still shit for me. Still shit.
I haven't seen it, dude.
Still shit. Sorry, that was a little segue, but yeah.
I haven't seen it, but so where are we now? Oh yeah, it's this is the extended version, isn't it?
That's what we're watching.
We probably should have said that at the start.
Probably.
We're watching the extended version. I don't know these bits as well.
Well, basically, Sarah Connor's having a dream sequence where Kyle Reese comes back and says, look, you need to go and look out for John. He's important.
He's in danger.
He's in danger. On your feet, soldier.
On your feet, soldier.
And then he disappears. Just trots off down the alleyway, down the corridor. See you later.
Oh, that's a line that should have been left in the movie. There's not much time in the world, Sarah.
Yeah.
God, she's in good shape.
Oh, yeah.
At the regime you've just explained, like...
I mean, 3 hours a day, 6 days a week for 13 weeks before you film.
Yeah, look at it. She's just sinewy and ripped and like...
Yeah, but that's...
Yeah, she looks great.
Arguably one of the strongest female characters of all time in a film. The lead female characters of all time, the strongest. Anyway, like the...
Yeah, because... We've hit a buffer, unfortunately.
Oh, well, we can still talk about it. She's not she's not a damsel in distress ever in this movie.
And at no point is she. That's the thing with the modern films, is at some point, the heroine, no matter how good they are, is at some point the damsel in distress.
Yeah, and she's actually a complicated... It actually takes it to the different extreme. One of the things I read was about how, like, you can read her character as kind of where you could take a good ideology that's meant well, like, you know, she's very feminist, let's be honest. But when taken to the extreme, it loses sight of humanity. She actually loses her own humanity later in the film because she is so laser focused on her mission to stop it, the future war from happening.
Robotic.
Yes, she becomes the Terminator. That is one of the beautiful things in this film. The Terminator becomes more human as the film progresses.
Yeah.
He's taught the value of human life by John. She becomes so cold and focused that she's a Terminator. But when she comes down to it, when it comes down to putting that bullet in Miles Dyson's head and his little kid's there, she can't fucking do it.
No.
She can't do it. So,
I'm just going to point out, this
what
is
a scene.
an iconic scene in the film where it's Sarah Connor's nuclear holocaust dream.
Oh, man.
Stan Winston worked on this.
This is an amazing
and they studied hours of nuclear test footage in order to make this scene look as realistic as possible. They built a miniature Los Angeles. Some of the materials used were Matzo's crackers and shredded wheat
amazing.
in the buildings, and they had to be rebuilt. It would take 2 days to do it, to set this up between takes.
Wow.
But several members of the US federal nuclear testing labs unofficially declared it the most accurate depiction of a nuclear blast ever created for a fictional motion picture.
Wow. Well,
and I would also argue to our leaders in charge, if you want to see what the fuck road you're taking to stone, you twats.
Watch T2.
Right? Go and watch that scene, and then imagining that happening to where you live. Because you ain't going to like it, I'm telling you.
I'd love... Just think about that, listener. And you, boys. Think about... Even the nuclear explosion going off in this movie is a fucking practical effect.
Yeah.
It's a model shot, essentially, where everything is a real object that you're seeing move. That would be CGI too holy fuck now if this movie was made today.
I watched San Andreas recently, and everything in that is CGI. You can tell.
You can tell, yeah.
It's just like...
I haven't seen that movie.
Independence Day has used the same practical effects for the city being destroyed in the alien blast. And it just looks better.
It certainly does. I don't know if it's... Well, it must be more expensive, which is why it doesn't... Oh, man, I remember hating these scenes. Sarah's being interrogated now by the psychiatrist and...
What's his name again, the doctor?
Dr. Silverman. And she's so intense in the scene. Anybody not wearing 2 million sunblock is gonna have a pretty bad fucking day. Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but if
she's-
you know
she's
this,
Yeah.
And you're stuck in there.
yeah,
Can you imagine?
and no one's taking you seriously. I mean, it's going to drive you. It's going to drive you insane.
Yeah.
And at some point, you're hoping there's going to be an afterlife, so you can turn around and go, "Fuck you, told you."
Her performance in that moment where the Arnold Terminator turns up to
Yeah.
the hospital is fucking out of this world, because to her that's the absolute vision
Oh.
of hell, isn't
Yeah,
it?
of course it is.
Well, yeah, so everything, because she must doubt herself that she's fully sane.
Yeah, she
She must doubt, have that lingering doubt. Like, is
I
it
don't
real?
think she has at this point.
Is it
Really?
real?
I don't think she has at this
I
point.
don't know. She
mate.
must have had at some point the fact that she'd imagined
She's
it.
crushed a Terminator.
I know that,
in a
but,
fucking
but,
press.
but
Shoot,
maybe
its
she.
arm was still on her.
Yeah.
But maybe she's thinking.
If you go through that-
was it? What? Yeah, but she must have that lingering doubt, so, or had it at some point. Was it all just some psychotic episode? Are they right?
Well, clearly she hasn't. She doesn't think it's not real because.
Yeah, well, but when she sees him, that is the vindication of any doubt that she ever might have had. And you
Well,
can-
yeah.
That's what that was
Well,
kind of my point.
I think when at this point in the film, she's trying to convince Dr. Silverman that she can go to the minimum security ward so she can see her son.
And
She's trying to
escape.
play nice, and as soon as he lets her down, we see that she truly still is just laser focused herself on this.
She's got a plan. She sticks to it. She wants to get out.
Yeah, they don't exist. I know that now. She's saying, but she's absolutely awesome in this film. I think everyone, like even the orderlies, all these staff members are all really well cast. They're
Very well-
really good arseholes, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you enjoy seeing them get the shit kicked out of them later on.
Everyone enjoys seeing a sadistic guard being brought down.
That's it. Yeah.
We like to see someone get their comeuppance, don't we?
Well, I was saying to Ben just before we started that I never realised, well, I've never thought of it this way till I looked at it, that Terminator 2 is actually an incredibly, considering it was released in 1991, an incredibly politically correct movie. We've got the strong female lead. The only black character is an incredibly successful, he's a genius, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's also the most humane character in the movie who sacrifices himself for a greater
Yeah.
good, which is quite progressive, I suppose, for the time.
But is he wearing a denim shirt?
Yes, yes, he is with a tie.
See, if he's got, at least he's not doing double denim.
Oh Christ!
I'm rocking double denim in the apocalypse.
We've been through this before, Mike. It's not going to happen.
But are we going to listen to Status Quo, Ben?
No.
No. We have to turn the key. Well, we were talking. We were talking earlier. Sorry to get heavy on you, Ben. It's not that heavy. You might enjoy this. The grandfather paradox and all. Technically speaking, so okay. The reason Skynet exists is because they found technology from the future.
Miles Dyson
Right. Yeah.
heads the lab. Is it? I don't know what the name of the lab is.
Cyberdyne.
Cyberdyne, that's it.
So if you stop Skynet from ever happening and building those machines, how do those pieces get back there in the first place?
Yeah. Okay.
I've already broke my own brain. So it's not really... It's not really... It doesn't make sense in that way, but...
It doesn't.
We accept
if
it.
If there's only one timeline.
Okay.
So it's gonna, but isn't it going to happen anyway?
Cameron says there is only one timeline.
So it's going to happen regardless.
That's what
Is
you
it
find
just-
out in
is it
number
just-
3.
It's like they're
Is it
stuck in a
just on
time
a,
loop.
is it on a loop where basically we get? I mean, I've seen Genesis. I don't know if you guys have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how can the robots be come into existence without having to be in existence to go back in the first place?
This is what I mean. So Arnie trotting around in
So
Genesis.
it's a paradox. It can't happen, can it?
No, it can't.
It can't, unless it's a different timeline. So in one timeline, it skews off in 1984.
Yeah.
You get the robots and the hell.
Okay.
The other one is normal.
Yeah.
The ones from the hellish robot get sent back to the nexus point.
To the point where it splits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it'll work, won't it?
Yeah. You just got to on it because they're bringing them. They're moving over to the other timeline.
Yeah. Because so in that one timeline, the robots do happen anyway. Whether it's Skynet, well, it is Skynet, and it happens, and they just come up with it.
Because we were also saying that if the machines never, if Skynet never happens, the machines never get built, there never is a war. John Connor will never need to send Kyle Reese back to get his mum pregnant. So will John Connor even exist?
Does John Connor know Kyle Reese is his dad?
I think they address that.
Oh, they do actually, don't they? Yeah. You see, at this point in the film, we can see Arnie has acquired John Connor. He's target identified.
Yeah.
And he's
so good. This is so good.
And the chase bit down the storm
The
drains.
storm drains of Los Angeles.
No, he's going to go to the. Now, the theory about that red-headed girl who's telling the T-1000 where to go is his wife in Terminator 3 is played by Claire Danes.
Catherine Brewster.
Catherine Brewster, the character name.
Yeah.
She's a redhead, and the theory is because she's the same age as John.
Oh, that's her.
That's her.
Ah,
In the
I've
third
never
film,
heard
they
that.
make out in the basement the night before.
This
film.
happens, yeah. So it would have made sense. He'd have gone to see her, and they said, "Oh, you just missed him." He was there 15
I
minutes
didn't
ago."
know that. That's
There's
awesome.
a theory that's certainly a fan theory that's.
Yeah.
Afterburner. Oh man,
See, that's the thing that ages this film, is the fashion and the computer games.
Yeah, and the cars. But I'm going to be really awkward now because we've got two things to pause. And I need a wee.
Yeah, I also could do with going. So let's pause it there.
Synchronised pausing. Synchronised unpausing.
Yeah,
Well done, lads.
pausing unsynchronized.
That was incredibly technically proficient and I'm really proud. And that sounded sarcastic, but I didn't mean it.
So at this point in the film, both the Terminators, the T-1000 and the T-800, are both converging on John, who's in the arcade playing Afterburner, which I used to love as a kid.
Fucking amazing. Especially in the cabinet. John's
Yeah.
playing it in the moving cabinet.
Which you only used to get at the seaside
You try
or Blackpool.
checking the price of one of those bad boys this day
I
and
dread
age.
to think.
Woo! That kid's mullet. But to be fair, he plays it cool. He plays it cool.
He does,
John,
doesn't he?
there's a
Yeah.
cop looking for you, man. He's a good friend. He doesn't rat him out.
Yeah.
Because you know snitches get stitches.
Especially ginger snitches.
With mullets.
With mullets. Yeah, the T-1000 doesn't take any shit. He just barges people out the way. He's not about getting through somewhere quick. You know,
Well, no,
he will not stop.
He absolutely
Relentless.
will not stop.
relentless killing machine.
And that's the beautiful thing about these films is that they're really simple because at their heart
they're
they're a chase movie.
movies, yeah.
It's a chase movie with someone that will never stop.
Remorseless,
This
relentless, and
hallway
virtually
scene.
indestructible.
Yeah, very indestructible in the case
This
of T-1000.
hallway scene, boys, with
Yeah.
the shotgun out of the roses. John thinks it's here for him.
Yeah.
All the things
He's
my mother
thinking,
said.
shit, Mum
all
was
the
right
things
all
she
along.
said, it's here, it's him, it's
Is that
him,
a nod to
it's
Guns
him.
N' Roses, by any chance?
Possibly. Turns back. He's gonna shoot me. Now what's John thinking? Sees the fucking cop.
Cop or the Terminator?
He
Yeah,
pulls his gun and the Terminator says, "Get down." What an epic moment.
yeah.
That's the first inclination now in this movie, isn't it? That, hang on.
Yeah. Yeah, this is weird,
He's
yeah.
not here to shoot John. He's
Yeah.
now turned his back and is absorbing the bullets for John. Oh man, I don't know why. I don't have daddy issues because I had a really good dad who was there at home. But as a child, man, I wanted so desperately a fucking Terminator
Yeah, but
to
your
be
dad,
able to.
your dad says no. He never says no
Yeah,
to you.
he'll never stop.
He
I've
never
got,
say no to you. You can't, can
well,
he?
no, and I've got the entire
You
quote.
say I want
later.
a million, I want millions and millions of pounds. He'll go
He'll
and get
go
it.
and
from
get
you.
it. But just to grab hold of you like that, turn his back and absorb a clip of fucking bullets for you, like.
Yeah.
God, I wanted
Yeah.
that when I was 12.
Yeah, literally take bullets for you.
Yeah, you know.
Would you like to know about the amount of dialogue Arnie has in this film and how much he was paid?
Come on then.
Well, to start with, for accepting the role, he was given a $14 million used $14 million Gulfstream private jet for accepting the role,
Oh, okay.
right? And he was given a $15 million salary. He had 700 words of dialogue.
Yeah.
He was
but
paid $21,000.
You don't understand acting if it's just.
He was paid
by word.
$21,429 per word. Hasta la Vista Baby cost $85,716.
And it was worth every
It
fucking
fucking was.
cent.
It was. I'm not
Times
disputing
two.
this at all.
I don't say that in
No.
the Spanish version. Hasta la vista.
What did he say?
Oh, I forgot.
Good
Something
night,
in
Vienna.
English.
No, something else that's.
See you,
American.
Chuck.
I only found out this year, despite being such a quote-unquote uber fan of this movie, I only found out that Hasta la Vista means see you later, baby, I think this year. Or well, last year, we're in
It
2018.
says sayonara
Oh, okay.
in Spain instead of sayonara, baby.
That's not as fun, is it?
No, it isn't the same, is it?
Mind you, they don't use Arnie's voice in Spain, do they? You said.
No, they don't. No.
Here's his iconic run after this stuntman where he pulls the truck driver out. Whoever the stuntman is, and this would be CGI now, but God, they earn their money. He takes a bad bump. Look when it cuts now. Oh, God, I'd hate to be a stuntman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got hurt there, I feel.
I'm sure it's padded, but it probably did
But
still hurt.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's probably not. Think about how fast they're going, but it looks fast on the screen. Everything looks fast on the screen. As they say on Top Gear, it always looks fast, like you do a quick lap. But him having only going 10 miles an hour, that bump could have been added in by him as a way, or he just he wasn't going that fast. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's so fucking hurt.
Yeah.
I don't want to be pushed out of a car at any speed, in all fairness.
No.
Never mind 10 miles an hour, which seems, but that Harley, that sound of that Harley, which is...
All of this is epic. The sound editing, we've got the sound down now at home, dear listener. I can hear this movie.
Yeah.
It's so burnt into my
You
brain.
hear the
Even the
motorbike
sound
revving.
effects, I know the sound of that scrambler he's on.
Yeah, I know the sound of that
the
bike.
water when the engine calms now in the storm drain and he looks back. This is such an epic. Come on. First time
He thinks
you
he's
saw
lost
this.
him, doesn't he?
Yeah. And here he comes.
No, not over the bridge.
And this is like how far will the? I mean,
Yes.
there's
Psycho.
there's blending in. I mean, because you think that. Then again, I mean, even if one of these Terminators fails in the past, it's a win for Skynet.
Yeah. Well,
Isn't it? It's just another way that they can get in. They can because that technology has already been sent back. So if we find it,
well, if you think about it, until the target was acquired, he was making the effort to fit in. Now he's acquired the target, like you say, he doesn't give a fuck. He's driving trucks off bridges. He's not bothered about not creating a scene. And he knows about the other Terminator as well now. He has that data in his mind. So that's probably amped up his...
let's get this shit done.
Yeah. It's an incredible scene, this. Everything about it.
Yeah, it's the driving especially. I mean, it's just...
I love it.
Yeah, we can't focus too much though. So give us
let's
some...
not look at it.
All right, so we'll cut back to where he comes when he gets the shotgun out. So someone give me something that is gonna either philosophise me or.
Well, Ben, an old proverb. I'm not sure where it comes from.
I don't know where this is going.
An old proverb says that when two elephants fight, it is the grass in between which gets trampled. And
well, yeah, obviously.
I proposit to you that there's a lot of fucking grass being trampled in
You
this
mean there's
movie.
a lot of collateral
Everything
damage?
gets fucked. It's amazing. It's fucking ace.
At this point, you should put it. Arnie is firing that Winchester, a beautiful Winchester, with one hand. He really fucked up he basically tore the skin off his hand doing that.
Just practicing.
Even in the film, he was still quite sore when he was doing it. I mean, it's just if you said to me, Ben, right, you can do like cross one thing on your bucket list right now. Right, I want to ride a Harley, shooting at a lorry with one hand, flipping that shotgun round. It's fucking beautiful.
It's
just
such
beautiful.
an ingenious element to the script. Is that because I often think about this in movies where you see people firing from motorbikes. You kind of need both hands at the same like left-handed. Can you fire left-handed? He's a robot, so he can, but he still can't cock it or load it, can he?
No,
and
he
so
needs both hands.
James Cameron must know his guns or has got the advice somewhere and thought, oh well, if he had this particular shotgun, he could fucking flip it round and reload it one-handed while still throttling.
I doubt we could do that because it obviously takes
Probably
effort
weighs
to do
a
it. That's
ton.
why you have to hold. Well, it's made of wood.
You see that thing now? I'm sure it said caution 9/11.
Mike,
Mike,
don't go full
don't-
Alex on
I
us.
swear to God, I've never noticed it before. I'm sure it said caution 9 feet 11, 9/11.
Terminator predicted 9/11.
Oh, there we go.
Well, he is from the future, so he's
Yeah.
seen it all happen. This bit, when the tyre comes rolling out. Oh, it's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
The action of that. So
I think it actually gives you some strength on how strong Arnie actually is. He can hold that shotgun in one hand, and it's a heavy bit of kit. To hold it in one hand, it does not waver for that shot. That takes some doing. Some arm strength, it certainly does.
I think he's a pretty strong dude.
He is. I mean, here comes the T-1000,
No,
the fire.
this will be interesting to see.
That looks that's still not bad. I've seen modern films with worse
I've
CGI
seen
than
modern
that.
films.
I saw that. Oh, Gods of Egypt. I'm sure they ran out of money at the end of that.
Excuse me.
Fucking CGI was terrible
Excuse
towards
me.
the end. It was awful.
Okay, time out. Stop the bike. Stop the bike. Time out. Oh, I love it. But that CGI did look slightly dated to me, to be honest.
Yes, but I've seen worse.
It's from 1991.
Yeah.
Let's bear that in mind, and it
And
didn't look that bad.
And I've seen worse produced now.
Yeah, at the time, that was you were Terminator, right? This always confuses me. Cyberdyne Systems Model 101 is his reply.
Yeah.
But he's a T800, isn't he? What's the difference?
That's a processor. Cyberdyne's
Oh.
a processor. The T800 is a model.
Yeah.
Right. But he says what? So Cyberdyne Systems Model 101. That's the processor.
I assume so.
Yeah.
T800.
Is the model.
Yeah, and you're like a machine underneath. I love this concept. Obviously, it's just a way of having a robot that looks like a human. But it's genius, the idea that the machine would cover itself in actual living tissue.
Well,
It would somehow grow it.
we've got robots now, but they use something called frubber.
Is that like
Flubber.
No, it's a frubber.
I guarantee you that
It's a mixture between organic and inorganic compounds.
right.
So half of their face is pretty much living. So they've got that now.
So I think of all the bacteria people are going to pick up in them robot brothels. Because like you still get herpes off a robot. How'd you get herpes? Got it off a robot. Ain't gonna go down well. Went to that robot sex brothel. Had a gangbang with a sex bot. Got herpes.
Look, John just said this is an extended scene, isn't it? Or is it?
I don't know. I've got the extended cut and this is in it. It's but this is like the special, brand new extended cut.
Right.
What I love about this is that the T-1000 just because he's dressed as a policeman, just gets in a police car and drives off, and no one questions it.
Yeah.
People don't question authority. It's that bit where he comes as a policeman and he's like, where's your son? He just voluntarily tells him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for no ID whatsoever.
No.
Well, they've clearly learned from the mistakes of the first Terminator they sent back.
Well,
Not
technology's
sure how.
improved, hasn't it?
Yeah.
They've got better technology. The machines are developing. They're evolving.
And just a quick note, he says it later on in the film, but Terminator's been shot a few times, and a couple of scenes ago, John was sticking his finger in the hole to see the real blood on his fingertip. Terminator says later on in the movie, I sense injuries and the data could be called pain. So, I don't know how to really interpret that. So he's not really feeling pain, but
No,
he knows,
he's just getting sort of impulses saying you're taking hits.
Yeah,
probably.
he knows he's... and he's in pretty good shape at the moment.
Yeah.
By the end of this movie, poor old...
Don't get me started on the end of the
Poor
movie
old
yet.
Arnie is
And
absolutely
do you know who
battered.
she is? It's Vasquez.
No!
Yeah.
Who?
It's Vasquez out of Aliens.
John's foster
Oh,
mum is
yeah.
Vasquez. Man, she looked hotter in Aliens.
You can't tell by the face.
This scene, man.
She's put on a bit of weight since
It's not old,
Aliens.
obviously. It's been...
This might be one of the
75
goriest things
years.
I'd seen at this point.
Yeah.
In my life.
yeah,
or
this
horrific
bit was...
sort of horror
Because
sort
you
of
think,
thing.
okay, he's a bit of a dick, but,
Yeah, but
he doesn't deserve to die. Like,
Die this way. With basically a sword through his mouth and his brain.
Yeah.
and
Well,
back
he's
of
just
his head.
drinking milk. It's like he's his most
Yeah.
vulnerable. He's having a drink.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if she killed him on the toilet.
Yeah.
And
Well,
just
teach
the way
you-
she flicks her arms out and you just hear the thud.
Teach you for drinking at the carton.
Right. And now
We'll do it again.
Terminator impersonating John's voice, perfect.
Yeah.
Is Wolfie? What's the dog's name? Is Wolfie okay? Oh,
Great.
poor old Wolfie.
Did he kill the dog
He
after?
does, yeah.
Oh man.
Wolfie's fine, honey.
You see, I'm more
Wolfie's
pissed
just
off
fine.
about the dog dying.
Your foster parents are dead. Well,
That's it, move on.
yeah.
He didn't like him much anyway, so it's all right.
Yeah, suck it up, kid. And then here we go. Here's the reveal of the blade through the milk carton, in the mouth, out the back of the head.
And notice, not a drop of milk spilled until the end. Do you want to clean up milk?
Now this,
No point crying over it.
hey, the arm morphing back into the hand. That still looks.
Decent.
That looks
Yeah.
At the time, though, I'd certainly never seen anything like it. Just morphing back into the air. So the idea is of this Terminator, and now Arnold is going to explain it to John that through touching a person, that's all it needs to then completely physically replicate that person.
But only organic.
Yes, it cannot make complex machines or moving parts. So knives, stabbing weapons.
Unlike the third one in Terminator 3.
Yeah, she can literally turn her arm into anything, can't she?
That's another film. And
I think that's kind of been retconned now.
yeah, do you know there's a Terminator 6 coming out?
I had heard something about
And
it.
isn't it a direct
2019?
sequel to this? They're discounting all that. Which, I don't know, I didn't mind Genesis. Saw
And
it at the
they've written
cinema.
I quite like Genesis.
They've written 3 episodes.
And I don't mind number 3 actually.
I don't mind 3.
I don't like Salvation.
I like Salvation. I think it's
But actually, I think the first 45 minutes of Salvation
the
is
gas
great.
station bit is awesome. At the gas station, that big robot comes down and starts
Yeah.
shooting the cars.
Oh
and things.
yeah. I prefer the start when it's like he's leading the resistance. They're going to go and rescue all them humans.
Yeah.
And they,
I like
and they end
seeing
up nuking all them satellite and them big dishes. That's great.
And the 5th one is a bag of shit.
Well, Genesis.
Yeah.
I like
Oh, it's
Genesis.
a right mess, isn't it?
I quite like it.
I can't stand it.
Do you know what's great about that is that you realise that Arnie's Terminator had like been going out to work on construction jobs and effectively raised Sarah Connor as his daughter because he had the learning chip. He didn't die, you see. In Terminator, hang on, did he?
No, you see.
But did they turn off the chip? But he learned anyway,
Yeah.
and he was like going out and doing construction jobs for
Well, it's a
us.
different one. He's a Terminator that went back to 1974.
Oh yeah, yeah. Even so, I enjoyed it. It
It
was
was a bit
quite-
too much, and then John Connor was Skynet, and he was guarding Skynet from being uploaded. An earlier version of himself. Why isn't he just upload his mega self right now?
Oh, I don't know.
There's like holes in the
I
film.
didn't think of that.
You try and find plot holes in this film.
Oh
apart
no,
from
there's
paradox.
not. Yeah, no, I know that. That's the problem with this. This isn't just a good. This is one of the best made films ever on every level. But what I did enjoy about Genesis was I really loved, like I've said earlier. Obviously, I had some daddy issues with the Terminator at the time. I really wanted him to be my dad, so I really loved the idea in Genesis of Papa Terminator. You know, of him growing old and having been raised by him. I like that.
Yeah, that bit was cool.
But yeah, I know what you're saying. Nothing's gonna come close to this, sequel wise or any other film wise. Plus, we're never gonna see it in that perfect time frame where we're young, sort of 12, 13-year-old boys watching a film about how old's he supposed to be? 10, 12,
13,
13.
yeah.
We're watching a film, an adult movie about a kid our own age with fucking Arnie at the height of his powers being cool as shit. Those special effects, which at the time, man, they were just fucking. You weren't sitting there going, "Whoa, special effects." You were just like, I don't know, it's just
Mesmerised,
seamless and just like.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What was the classification on this film?
It was R-rated. I don't know that much.
18.
I imagine it's 18. Yeah.
I saw it on cassette.
VHS.
Cassette, yeah. And the
So
same
did
as
I.
you might have saw the first one after, and I was
Yeah.
disappointed the first time I saw it.
Mm.
But now, as time went on, I saw how I appreciated it for what it was, a low budget little
Yeah.
cyberpunk movie, basically.
Yeah.
You know,
That police
and it's a
station
horror
scene's
film.
great though when he
Yeah.
just goes in and starts
Yeah.
cutting down all the policemen are like trying to shoot him and they can't understand why he's just not dying because he's getting. They are hitting him and he's.
I love the
But at the
practical.
time, it was like there was nothing like it.
Yeah, the
Fucking
practical
robot from the
effects.
future,
The
I mean.
practical effects though, having an actual puppet where he's repairing his own arm and
Yeah.
pulling the tendons and the things. Yeah, it is incredible.
It's great. So go on then, give us the postmodernism thing.
This scene, well, that's quite a big chunk. Do you want to save that for
Yeah, we'll save it to the end then.
All right.
second half? Because it's basically a reading of the entire movie, but we got some. We haven't really got to any of Sarah's stuff yet, but
Well, we can always
He's
go ahead.
talking. He's talking now, isn't he, about how he grew up with a psycho mom who, you know.
that's the thing. Her dedication to protecting him actually didn't give John what he needed
No, didn't have a father figure.
as an actual human, let's say.
Yeah.
But as the potential future leader of the resistance, yeah, she's been doing the best she can, but unfortunately she's ended up.
That's it.
In
He's not a
her
robot.
mission.
He's a human. He needs
Yeah.
the other elements of
Well, he's,
social.
yeah, because technically he should be the embodiment of humanity. He's everything that we're trying to fight to protect, rather than just being cold, unfeeling machines.
Yeah.
But she thinks that's the only way to defeat the machine.
And that's the thing.
She thinks that's the only way to defeat it, doesn't she?
Ben. Yeah, and you'll notice in the movie too, even when she's established that the Terminator is, been programmed by future John and is definitely on their side, she still, throughout the entire movie, refuses to call it him.
Yeah.
It's always it or the machine. Right up until the very end where he's about to lower into the steel, then looks him in the eye and gives him a handshake.
And you get the feeling that's as much as she's gonna give him as well.
Yeah, but one of the things in this
But it's respect.
Oops, sorry, can open.
Yeah, he's earned her respect, hasn't he?
And
she even says that, later on, he's a father figure to John in the insane world. It's the sanest choice.
I've got the full quote here because it is one of the themes running through the movie is the paternal role of the T-800 to John.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where it's a voiceover, which is another thing, having the voiceover, it's only Sarah that gets voiceover, just adds another layer to her character. She's not just a nutter in an asylum.
So innermost thoughts.
Yeah, and she says the full quote, she's watching the Terminator play with John and she says, "Watching John with the machine, it was suddenly so clear. The Terminator would..." Oh, and before I do the quote, I'll just point out, this is a reversal. You know how in the first movie, we've already alluded to it, it absolutely will not stop.
Yeah.
Right? It's coming for you, it will not stop.
Relentless, remorseless, yeah.
This is the flip side of it, of when the Terminator's working for good. She says, it was suddenly so clear. The Terminator would never stop. It would never leave him, and it would never hurt him, never shout at him or get drunk and hit him, or say it was too busy to spend time with him. It would always be there, and it would die to protect him. Of all the would-be fathers who came and went over the years, this thing, this machine, was the only one who measured up. In an insane world, it was the sanest choice." Yeah. So it's kind of the reversal. I like how, so in the first one it's relentless, it will not stop to kill you. But if you've chipped it and reprogrammed it, well then it absolutely will not stop to protect you.
But it would
and look after you.
Yeah, but it would have done it anyway. If they didn't mess about with the thing it said, it would have...
Well, it's been... No, John in the future had to reprogram it to protect John.
The Terminator is not actually AI then, is it? It isn't intelligent.
Well, it has to be, doesn't it? Or does it become
Skynet, because it's a slave to Skynet, or it's a slave to John.
Right.
It's not really true artificial intelligence, the cyborg.
But it is thinking for itself, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
decisions.
But then again, but it's very like cold sort of decisions. Like if I shoot him first,
logic.
And then him.
Well, he's like Spock, isn't he? He's just cold logic.
Yeah,
and,
effectively. Yeah. He's the greatest threat.
But it's like, look, before you, sorry, Mike, before you get into, we were actually on the scene of this where John's realised that in order to copy his mum, the T-1000 will probably kill her. Well, what does the Terminator say? It's not a mission priority.
Yeah.
He says, well, fuck you, it's a priority to me. So he then has to, obviously, John works out he's programmed to command John. So what was my point? Yeah, that the Terminator is making cold, logical decisions, not emotional.
To keep him alive, but he also is... So it's not a mission parameter to go and save Sarah.
Yeah.
But it is a mission parameter to keep John alive. But if John says, we're going to go there, he has to go because he has to obey
John.
Would you trust, right? You're John Connor. You're 40 years old. It's the future. Mm-hmm. You've been scarred, however, you've spent the last 5 years or whatever fighting machines and seen countless humans fall, but you're finally on the fucking brink of winning, and you're trusting your 13-year-old self not to be a dick with his own private Terminator.
Oh, I would have been such... That was my fantasy, that was the point.
Imagine taking Arnie to school with you.
That's what I mean.
And you're like, what's he doing here?
Because...
Are you going to tell him to leave?
At the time, honestly, at the time, so here's where we get a bit confessional. At the time of seeing this movie, I was not getting bullied, but a series of unfortunate events. I'd found myself in the wrong place at the wrong time about 3 or 4 times and ended up getting the shit kicked out of me. Through no fault of my own some of the time.
Should we mention this bit?
2 times it might have been my mouth. So the point was
we should actually,
about the twins.
The twins, the 2 security guards in the mental asylum. The security guard in the mental asylum is killed by himself, who's been touched because the T-800 is morphed into the floor. Sadly, he's got to win at poker on his coffee cup.
It's his lucky day, son.
It's his lucky day, and then he gets a knife through the face. Killed by himself, who's played by his twin.
Yeah, no, it's a checkered floor. Masonic.
Oh!
Good and evil.
But he's only stripping on the white tiles. Wouldn't that be good? He's good.
I
He's
guess.
good white.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess it is, yeah.
Maybe the T-1000's a good guy in all this.
Well, maybe. I mean, we're destroying the world. I suppose, but they do actually destroy the world, though, don't they? So they can't be the good guys.
Well, no, because the world will recover. It's humanity that's the problem, isn't it? We're the ones who are...
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys. Go on, carry on, mate.
I was staring at the
We had to point out about the twins. It was... So go on...
I was just being stupid. I was like, how did he cup him? But it's because he walked on the floor. Sarah's...
Your fighting incidents.
Well, essentially, that's why I was obsessed with the idea of the Terminator protecting a little boy. I fucking wanted one.
Yeah.
I kind of fucking needed one at the time. So yeah, this fucking film hit me and never left me. I'm earning a lot because we're doing... it's the first time we've done it like this, done a movie commentary. And we are just enjoying these visuals. How amazing is it that we don't need the sound on for this to still be fucking intense?
Yeah.
She gets revenge in this bit.
That was one of
Them
the
blows
best...
are real. Apparently, as I said earlier, she was really pissed off because it took 4 takes to do the forced medication bit. She was not amused because he wouldn't do it properly. Didn't want to hit her.
That first strike was so visceral. You don't see it like that in movies a lot. They don't do the whole... Like there's a punch, and then you cut back and the guy's bleeding, or you might see a bit fly out of his mouth, but you don't see the actual fucking nose explode like it did in that. That was
good old practical effects.
fucking that was like a squib on his face. That's fucking awesome.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, we need some.
You see, when CGI
it's
was
just
this
nuts.
new and
It's
was
nuts.
that expensive as I imagine it, they needed it for the bits they needed it. So
Yeah.
you weren't going to be using it for frivolous little things like so things like that. You want the guys, you're going to hit the guy in the face and you want his face to explode with blood. Well, we put a fucking blood squib on his fucking face, and it looks awesome.
And then
Too much.
You know,
They've gone too far, haven't they?
Everything's so and to be honest, it's the nature of some of this. Like I watch a lot of superhero movies, and they use the most CGI, I would guess. And the nature of what they're about means, you know, those things don't exist. Yeah, but it's still just things have a weightlessness to them in CGI that I don't think anyone's
You ever see that
worked out.
full CGI film? Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
oh god, it's awful.
I should love that, but
Yes.
I love the imagery of it, but I can't get into that film.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Got it
And
on
I've looked
DVD.
at it and I thought to myself, I remember that film as being absolutely terrible. 'Cause I've
Boring.
and nothing really happens, and you're like,
I loved it. How savage is she to basically fill a syringe with poison and stick the fucking tip in a dude's neck? Like, what a fucking... You know, she hasn't got a gun yet, has she?
no,
No,
she's got a
not.
nightstick and some keys, and she learned to pick the locks for this scene.
Oh, she actually learned how to
She
do
learned
it?
how to pick the locks. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
I assume trained by a sort of
I'm
ex-Israeli
liking them
commando chap, because
Yeah.
they're pretty handy to have in these situations.
And this is very cool, where John has essentially started to try and teach the Terminator the value of human life and has asked him not to kill anybody. Terminator then proceeds to pull out his pistol and shoot the security guard twice in both. Was it 2 shots
just
in each leg?
once in each kneecap, I think.
Yeah, once in each knee. Then turns back to John and says, matter of factly, as you all know, he'll live. Which I think is fucking amazing, because it shows the Terminator has to listen to John.
Yeah, he's gonna live, but he's gonna spend the rest of his life in a fucking wheelchair.
Yeah,
He's just been shot in the kneecaps.
Well, you know,
He's not gonna have a fucking. He's gonna be a paraplegic, mate. Well, not paraplegic, but he's gonna.
No.
He's gonna not be able to use his legs.
I hope he's got medical cover.
Oh god, I hope his job performs. He's working for the States, probably.
He'll be alright.
Well,
He
he's
might
not.
limp and walk with a
No,
cane.
he's got both his kneecaps shot
No,
out.
he's
He's
shot
in
him
a
above the
wheelchair.
knee. They were thigh shots. That was above the knee.
He could take out the fence. Well, actually, no, he wouldn't even know exactly where that bullet was hitting.
That
Wouldn't
was
he, the
above the
Terminator?
knee, yeah.
But he's broke the thigh bone.
Did that? Oh, no, I was going to say that security guard looks like Coco Beware, but that could be perceived as racist.
Remember him as Barrett? He was shit. Actually, better with Owen Hart in that tag team.
Yeah, no, High Energy or something.
Yeah,
called.
R.I.P.D. Owen Hart.
Bless him. Yeah, she's such a savage. The Poison, I hate that female.
God.
She gets Sarah knocks her out, doesn't she? Oh no, the Terminator knocks her out later on, yeah.
Breaks her arm.
Shoves her into a wall, face first, I think.
It doesn't kill her. There's no room for violence against women in this movie.
Well, I like the fact that John as well, he's given you hints of his humanitarian future and his nobleness as a future man. Is that 13-year-old him had the sense to ask the Terminator, hey, please don't just kill people. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, because we missed a bit while we were talking.
I actually love John's humanity in this. He's actually almost quite on the brink of tears some bits.
Oh, he's awesome.
You know, he's
about
a very compassionate kid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
We'll
I was
go
a
back.
selfish little prick when I was 13, you know what I mean?
Me too. Go back a couple of scenes.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have cared. I'd have not shoot the dude.
Well, if we go back,
I'd have let your Terminator do his job.
go back a few scenes when the two meatheads are chatting shit to John in the car park, and John says, "Did you call moi a dipshit?" And the Terminator goes to town.
Yeah.
Pulls out the gun, and John saves the guy's life by saying, "You were gonna fucking kill that guy." Well, of course, I'm coming at you.
Because he can't go around killing people.
Yeah,
he says
he
with
literally
why.
knows it.
Yeah, the clue is in the name, though. In all fairness,
Yeah.
Terminator, terminate. It's pretty fucking
I
obvious.
don't know. I
isn't it?
love that scene. I love that John is teaching the fucking Terminator. He's
I just let the Terminator get on with it. Let him do what it's designed for. Although, to be fair, those jock dudes were like trying to help him out.
what sort of leader are you going to turn out to be if when you were 13 you were happy to let your Terminator fucking shoot a man in the face because he said something to you in a
Well, I'd
car
probably
park,
stop that one.
and then shoot an innocent security guard in the head at the
He was
mental
trying to
hospital,
stop
then
getting
walk
in.
into the mental
There's
hospital
bigger mission
and
priorities going
execute
on.
one security guard. Boom, he'd be dead. There's about 5, 6
It's a
security
needless
guards
death.
that will be killed.
Look,
You know that 3 billion
Look,
are going
in
to die in
a
a
few
war.
years they'll be dead anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but he might survive.
In
One
what
less,
country's gonna be?
one less body against the machines.
Like every commander knows who to sacrifice and who to save on the battlefield, and sadly he's got to learn that. There you go. I'm playing devil's advocate.
No, you're not.
I am. I mean, the jocks, fair enough, because like he brought that on. That would have been a bit heavy. You know, to have him just like get shot in the face because of you trying to help you. So I'd have stopped that one. I'd have got. You know, would you have gone back for your mum?
My mum. If my mum was Sarah Connor...
Yes, I mean, yeah.
well,
My mum would not survive in the world to come.
I was going to say, I wouldn't want
Neither
my
would
mum...
mine.
I wouldn't want to be running around with my mum doing that if I was... I'd just leave her be. She's better off where she is.
But if she was a trained psychopath
Yeah.
like she is, then yeah, you want her to live.
I'm going for it. Oh, this scene.
Yeah, he's walking through the...
Yeah.
Metal bars. Yeah.
Leaves the gun behind.
Clunk.
Excellent.
And Silverman says it again.
Yeah. He's oh shit.
Bang. What's going through Silverman's mind? Holy shit.
Yeah.
He says in the third one, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He says it takes someone years to get over something like that.
Love this. Absolutely love this. So they're in the lift and the knife arm comes in, turns into a toffee hammer and separates them. And that shotgun blast to the head. When I first saw that, like, whoa, it's fucked up.
That's still pretty good, to be fair. That one
It's
hasn't aged
amazing
too
effect.
much. That's pretty
That
good.
might have been a practical effect though, actually. I'm not sure. That might have been an actual dude with
Yeah, maybe.
a physical thing on his head.
Like I said, he's lift doors open, straight down, boom.
All of this is amazing.
Sarah and Linda Hamilton got a bit of some hearing damage from this scene because she didn't replace her earplugs during the takes.
Oh, and he's firing.
He's pre-firing blanks,
Yeah.
which extra load blanks to make it appear more real.
So I still don't quite understand this as a movie. I sometimes get confused. In movies, they fire bullets that are. So an actual case comes out, doesn't it? There's an explosion, combustion is happening.
Yeah.
But there's no projectile coming out at the end, is there?
No, it would just be a bang and the shell going out.
And the shell comes out, right. So it's still loud, it's still
it's loud,
it's still dangerous.
There's still a bit of recoil.
Yeah.
In fact, there's not that much recoil ever shown in films in all fairness, but
because most people are trained in...
you can't fire an M16 on fully automatic from the hip and expect to hit what you're firing at, because it's just going to shoot into the air after
They just need it to look good though on the camera, don't they?
After a second, that gun's going into the air.
Yeah, I have seen footage of skinny, bikini-clad girls in a desert firing ridiculous weapons.
Who hasn't, Gaz? Who hasn't?
Well, you know...
That's porn for me.
He's doing his run again.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's a little insight to Sarah Connor's mindset in a few seconds. When this chase is over, they're leaving the mental hospital now. So you have Sarah, John, and Terminator in the car. When they lose him, she turns round and John thinks Sarah's pulling him in for a hug. She's not. She's pulling him in to check him for damage, for bullet holes, basically. She loves him, but her mission is humanity. Keeping
him
it
alive.
alive. Keep him alive to save the fucking world. Yes, you're my son, but there's no time for that sort of...
Why'd you come here, she says.
Emotion.
Why did you come and get me?
Yeah. We had to save you, he says,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
Why'd you come and get me? Because even she's on the same logic as the Terminator.
Well, yeah, that's what Gaz said.
She is.
She's becoming a machine.
The Terminator softens as the course of the
Yeah.
film goes on, and she hardens to a point. She has a realization.
Yeah.
Well,
She has to go to the very brink, doesn't she?
yes, she takes herself to the point of having that fucking gun in Miles Dyson's face, in front of his
And
children.
actually squeezing the trigger a bit.
Yeah, oh yeah,
She's
yeah. And she gives that speech later on where, when the Terminator's showing Miles Dyson his arm,
Yeah,
and she goes on that rant about men create the hydrogen bomb. You don't know what it is to create a life and grow it inside you. She's still very.
Bitter
She hasn't
and twisted.
softened. She
I don't
just
think-
decided not to execute him.
I used to think that she's kind of resentful of her role in that little speech.
Well, I
Why
think I
the
would
fuck
be.
is it me?
I didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm getting nailed by guys in the future, and I've got the fucking Messiah on my
Although
hands.
some could say it now, I'm not slut shaming, but she didn't have to fuck Future Man. They could have just talked.
Yeah, but he has just saved her life on numerous occasions. It's the Hawaii missile strike thing.
Back to that, yeah.
Back to that. It's like,
All
yeah.
the adrenaline's gone.
All that
and you-
adrenaline's going. He's like, I need to fuck. And he's just like, and he's seen the photo. He's always had that crush on her.
Oh, fuck me, Future Man.
How weird is it that like you're John Connor's protege? He gives you a picture of his mom to keep, his only picture of his mom to keep, and you've probably ended up jacking up.
I was going to say, you know, Carl Reese has whacked up to that so many
There ain't
times.
much going on in the
There's
future.
not much
porn-wise.
porn in the post-apocalyptic
No.
world, I doubt.
But imagine, pretty, are they at it like rabbits
Do you know
or
what?
what? I mean,
Shit. Sorry, this is a tangent, but we need to start prepping for the future. You know, you have preppers who prep food and things. Well, we need to be porn preppers, because if all porn only exists online or on electronical devices,
yeah.
well, it doesn't exist, does it? We could have all the iPads in the world. We've scavenged through people's homes. I found one. Yeah, but there's no internet.
We're going to do a pornographic
There's no power.
puppet show.
No, we need to start stockpiling magazines. They still make them.
Yeah?
You know, they still catch my eye, maybe.
Would
in the
VHS still be okay?
No, we might not have power.
No power.
Oh, shit, yeah.
I'm telling you, let's start stockpiling porno mags. Somebody listening, send us a message reminding me of that. I need to write that one down.
Prepper gear, porn,
Porn prepper.
food, water, weapons, porn.
Freeze dries food, 60 issues of Hustler.
And your favourite
we-
wank sock.
You need at least a rotation.
Mate, in the apocalypse, I won't be using a wank sock. I'll just be encrusted in weeks of it. And I won't give a shit. It might protect me from some of the radiation. A spunky wank
There'll be
shield.
so much of it. It'll be like a second skin. It'll be like body armour.
It's my crusty radiation spunk shield.
Protects you from the rad roaches.
They won't want to buy me.
So I guess the pheromone smell just makes bears want to have sex with you. And the fact it'd be really unpleasant to sort of hang around with, because that smell will just be like. Guys, do you think you should maybe just use some rainwater and have a bit of a shower? No.
Where's the
Just
fun in
buy
that?
him a hammer and chisel for his birthday.
I want to scavenge you this hammer and
I
chisel.
don't
from
want to
back.
chisel it off. That radiation ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? Hang on, I'll pass this one on. Sorry, we're having joint traffic. So here we go. This is an interesting position for Sarah to be in. She's being repaired by the Terminator, and he's explaining his detailed files on human anatomy, which make him a more efficient killer. Which it just makes sense, doesn't it? You can't build a machine that's designed to kill humans without it knowing exactly what kills humans.
Well, that's it. If you can have a machine that just one shot every time, you're laughing, aren't you?
And she's now repairing him. So I guess he'll heal up in time.
Yeah, he does. She says, "Will these wounds heal up?" And he's like, "Yes, given time." He's like, "You're no good to us if you can't pass for humans." So she's already trying to think of a way to get rid of him.
She almost does get rid of him.
She's in a minute,
But that would thing is, if they just left that body there, right?
Well, they wouldn't have.
Yeah, she was. I imagine it burned. But you're going to do a lot to get rid of a Terminator's exoskeleton. I mean,
Good point. Yeah, it would take fairness.
I like how the bullets. I don't know anything about bullets and guns really, but I presume that they're coming out so flat because they
just
hit
hit the metal.
That's
alloys are
fucking
that
awesome.
dense.
Yeah, that is awesome. He actually, now you mention it, Ben, I think he looks a little bit younger in this scene.
Yeah.
Than I love this.
Yeah, it's cool. They are literally sort of peeling his scalp back.
Yeah. This is an incredibly important part of this movie, and what sets this above just an action sci-fi film is this extra element now of like this machine is really going to be capable of learning now.
Yeah.
And obviously he's never, like he says at the end, crying's not something he can do, but he knows why they do it.
Yeah,
You know, he's got some understanding. And
So I'll tell you the requirements of consciousness.
hello, because I don't know if I fucking meet all of these requirements actually, so hit me with it, Mike.
Okay, the first one is consciousness itself, to have a subjective experience and thoughts. Okay, second one is self-awareness, to be aware of oneself as individual with individual thoughts.
So he doesn't have that because he doesn't care whether he lives or dies.
But he still cannot self-terminate.
That's true.
Sentience, the ability to feel perceptions or emotions subjectively.
He has a perception of pain.
He doesn't feel though, does he?
No, he doesn't feel, no.
And sapience, the capacity for wisdom.
So he's not conscious, is what you say.
Well,
Well, he's a computer, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's
but that's what I mean. He's partly conscious, isn't he? He's more of a slave.
Yeah, free will.
He doesn't have free will.
No.
No, I suppose he doesn't. But he is. But he does in a way because he makes decisions and actions. But they're all based around the parameters of keeping John alive.
Yeah,
aren't they?
logic, isn't it? So he's got
It's
three
just
guys.
a program, isn't it? That he's
Yeah.
got to.
The program is keep this human alive at all costs. Yeah.
It's a toughie.
It is.
So let's go back. Sorry, what were their reasoning in the film for opening up this chip? I can't.
John wanted him to basically be able to learn.
And she's arguing against it because now she has this
Well, she wants to
smash the
yeah,
chip,
to kill it.
end it all here. But she also knows, she must know that he's such a good tool to keeping that kid alive.
Well,
Yeah.
and the kid says, doesn't he? He says, I'm expected to be this big leader.
Yeah.
No one's going to listen to me. My own mother won't.
Boom.
Yeah,
And that's
mic
a bit-
drop.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
a bit-
literally. Yeah, that's awesome.
Hammer drop in this case. She drops the hammer. She won't do it. Because it is the point. If I'm going to be this great leader, people are going to start listening to me.
You can see where she's coming from, though, can't you? In the
Yeah, but I'd also be thinking if I was so, well, hang on, I can't stay awake all night looking out. One of it's me and him on the run for. You need him at the end of the day. You do need the T-800. You need him.
Of course you do.
Him, whatever.
Because her mission now surely must be to kill the other one. The one that's after them.
You've got to do it.
And
You've got to kill the other Terminator.
Wouldn't you rather have...
Or at least hold out until Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Be somewhere until... So how long have you got to go to Judgment Day in this?
So I wonder at this point if she's just actually accepted that Judgment Day is inevitable, and I've just got to keep John alive so he can fight the machines. And you know,
I think it's 3 years.
So you got 3 years. So if you could, are you going to be able to outrun the T-1000 for 3 years? Eventually, your path is going to cross.
Are we learning yet?
Yeah.
So he's just first thing the Terminator learns
Or is
is
it months? Is this based in 1997? I can't remember now.
I'm sure it says the apocalypse comes in 97, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It's either 97 or 99. I think it's
97,
97,
yeah. 97.
When's this film set then?
Night.
It's not set in 91 because the kid was born in 84. If he's 13, that makes it 1997.
Maybe it is a few months then. But Dyson isn't far away from a breakthrough, is he?
Yeah.
So it's might be like a couple of years tops.
Here's another thing that comes back to bite them in the ass though. She's just told him to keep the speed below 60 because they don't want to get pulled over or get unwarranted attention, but then he's learnt that. So later on in the film, when it's quite essential that they probably go quicker than 60 mile an hour, he's under. This is the vehicle's top speed.
Yeah.
Because of this, what she's just said there. But John's teaching him some human lingo.
As you alluded to his price per his line per money thing earlier.
He's earning some money in this scene.
He is.
Chill out, dickwad.
The thing is, that's what if you were 13, you'd teach Terminator to swear, wouldn't you?
Of course!
You know, shit, fuck, crank, well, cunt, wallet,
Is
fuck,
this
bollocks,
the
shit, wank, fuck.
bonus scene where he tries to smile?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hilarious. I don't know why they cut that out of the cinematic release. I love that scene. Arnie doing just the most inhuman, unnatural grin you've ever seen.
It's a bit of acting in itself, really.
Yes, Arnold's he's a good. It's hard to be the Terminator, dude. Do you know what he trained himself to do? And you'll know about this, being an army guy. Arnold doesn't blink when he fires shots.
That's true. There's only a couple of actors who don't actually. Clint Eastwood, although you can't tell whether his eyes are open or
He's
not.
quite squinty.
I think it was John Wayne there's only like a few actors who can do it.
Arnold's reasoning was a machine wouldn't squint or so he is absolutely. And come on, all right, he might not be able to do Shakespeare, but that's still fucking acting, performing skill that regular folk, that only a very focused, determined, strong-minded person can do.
And people that are very at ease with what they're doing as well. So he's obviously drilled himself to do it very naturally as well.
I'm pretty sure Arnie fires.
Dead behind the eye looks.
The 1,000-yard stare.
There's the smile. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that Arnold fires guns for fun in his
probably
free
does.
time a lot.
Yeah.
So I bet he's very comfortable around them.
Should we pause it here then?
Yeah, let's
Right.
We'll end the episode at this point because we're half into the film.
Exactly halfway through this extended version.
Yeah,
So we'll put a pin in it.
We'll put a pin in it for now, and we will return with the second part and
Next week.
philosophy.
Yes. We are going to teach Ben why the movie Terminator 2 Judgment Day can be read as one big treatise on modernism versus postmodernism.
You've just put so many people off.
And we look at behind the physics of time travel.
Boom!
Could be interesting, alright, I'll give you that one.
And we're going to look at AI, basically. Artificial intelligence. Not the
Oh,
film.
thank God for
The
that.
concept of artificial intelligence. How close are we? We've got robots that are darnest things.
Hey! Alright, so I will say I've been Ben, and I'll say stay classy.
I am Gaz, and I will say free Biff Tannen, and bye.
I've been Mike. Peace out.
See you next time.